Hello and welcome back to Jack Knives Reviews. I am of course your host, Jack Knives. Today I will be reviewing The Silent Twins.
The Silent Twins!
Two sisters, Jennifer and June Gibbons, are strange. They are incapable of communicating to anyone other than one another, and only while alone, in a cryptic language that only they understand. The twins not only acted alike, spoke silently, and in the same language, but mirrored each other's actions, seemingly unable to exist without one another. This is the most famous case of what would be later known as cryptophagia. The movie explores their strange lives from silent outcast children to teens to adults, and every strange twist and turn in between their creative minds. I was familiar with the infamous silent twins in real life, mostly from the concept of cryptophagia being very, very fascinating to me. The concept of two people not interacting with anyone but each other, creating their own separate language that no one else could understand, and only interacting with one another, duplicating each other, being almost exact mirrors of one another. When one would get angry, the other would get angry. When one would act out, the other would act out. And things that were so fascinating to me because it touched on concepts of mental wavelengths and is there an actual twin connection between twins more than the average twin would be. The movie does tackle on that quite a lot, and it leans quite heavy on it, but not too much. But there were parts where I was a little disappointed, not in a negative sense, but more in a way of I was hoping to see more of what the outside world would see of them, not necessarily just what was within their own minds. Letitia Wright, who many of you may know from Black Panther, and Tamara Johnson played the Silent Twins, both so similar to each other, but vastly different from one another at the same time, and I don't think that was an unintentional choice. It really does dive into their minds, what they would see, what their visuals would be, what their innermost deep thoughts would be, and most of the movie script came from both what these two left in the world of the arts. They were world-renowned writers. They helped inspire musicians. They helped inspire different forms of painting, of art, of expressionism, of different things from just being themselves. But again, one of the major problems I had with the movie was I wanted to see more of how it was perceived from the outside world, not just within their minds. I mean, obviously, they're the main characters. We get to see what's deep within them. And yes, there are many studies about them. Yes, there are many documentaries about them. But the casual person wouldn't know about them. You have to introduce it in a way that's not retouching old ground completely, but just enough to get us all on the same page. And then you can introduce the inner elements of what's going on within their minds and what's, what they're seeing and how they're interacting and the way they talk. There's little things that they did that the actresses got down pat from interviews that I've seen with the surviving twin. After one of them passed away, the other one finally was able to, speak and have a normal existence after everything had, been said and done with them. And one of the things that I was really just surprised at, because they did a lot of research clearly, was the twins being born to immigrants, and yet growing up in England, they have this mannerism of talking through their teeth, where it sounds like their teeth are bigger than their mouths. So when they talk like this, and they go like this, and that's how they talk. And it's really little things like that you can tell the people who worked on this got it. Like, they understood their story, them, listening to them, watching them, and following them. This is probably as close to getting within the minds of the real-life Silent Twins as we will ever get to. And it's really fascinating to see a kind of artistic journey into the minds of misunderstood and simultaneously pretty simple girls. A very interesting movie, but here's my negative problems with it. It's at times almost too artistic for a lot of, again, casual moviegoers watching this would be very intrigued and yet confused, because it has a lot of points where you're not sure what's in their minds, you're not sure what's out of their minds, you see parts of it, you see the good, you see the bad, you see this, that, the other, and it takes too many rapid directions for a casual moviegoer, I believe, to actually, follow with that, and it kind of halted it for me in some points, but I mean, it didn't completely take me out of the experience. It was an interesting movie, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's a movie that I would really go out of my way to rewatch or, say, oh, it's a must. It's not bad, but it's not amazing either. It's kind of somewhere in the middle of my expectations, and yet did surprise me at times. I give the Silent Twins 3.5 out of 5. Have you seen the Silent Twins? Let me know in the comments down below. Till then, I'll see you next time.